Earth-based Englishman here. Today, I'm going to talk about grounding, centering yourself, ready for a meditation, creating that safe space. I say safe space because a lot of people think that it's a happy place you go to. But if you're not in the right frame of mind, and you might notice this a few years down the road, saying, I weren't in the right place to do that. Well, if you're in that happy place, it might not actually be a safe space. So you may get um, different answers to the questions or the reasons for your meditations. Carl Jung, a prominent psychologist from early on in the 20th century, that's the 1900s, um, said that your subconscious is a reflection of your conscious world. So when you're having dreams, there may be reflections of something to do with that that is actually within your day-to-day life. So if you've got lots of problems, they might show up as something else, not necessarily exactly the same in dreams or in your meditations, but as something completely different, maybe an animal or an occurrence. So the best way for us to start any kind of meditation is to ground ourselves, to actually feel connected with the things around us, with the earth. I like to do this um, in maybe in a different way to other people, because although lots of people might do meditations, there will be something different about it, whether that is um, through where they start, or how they progress, and even how they get the answers that they're meditating for in the first place. Meditation is a help. Meditation helps you relax, which enables you to sleep. We don't meditate to sleep, okay? So it's an aid to relaxation. A setting like this is absolutely perfect, but we don't all have this kind of setting. But it allows us to touch the soil, to touch the grass, to feel the energy that's around us. When I start my meditations, I always try and focus on one thing first, and that's on my breathing. Close my eyes. I take a deep breath in and then out again. So I feel my chest rising and falling. And I focus on that. After a while, if you're doing this, you start to feel your heartbeat being stronger. It also allows us to slow our heartbeat down without it being dangerous. So take those deep breaths. Focus all of your thoughts on those breaths. And when you start feeling your heartbeat or even hearing your heartbeat, then focus on that. It's a natural progression. Once we've done that, we can then focus on being in that safe space. I always have the same safe space that I start off in, and advise other people to find theirs. But if they can't find their own, utilize this one too. And that's in a room that's got a bed, a chair, a small bookcase, a window, no matter what size it is, and a door. And that door may also have a window in it. The reason for this is because we relax in bed. We can relax in the chair. We can relax reading books. But also, those books that are on that bookshelf may bring answers within your meditation. But we'll be doing that in another video. So we start with the breathing, moving on to feeling your heart. And then imagine, while we've still got our eyes closed, being pictured laying on the bed or sat in the chair. Allow our subconscious mind to see the room as we slowly open our eyes in our mind. Look around the room, nice and bright. You may have to turn a light on for that, or it's just bright anyway. Stand up, stretch. All of this is still within our mind's eye as our physical body is relaxing. Then we may go to the window and experience outside while still being safe within this room. This is our room. This is our space, our safe space. And then we move on to the door. Well, that door can be open a little bit, or we can listen at the door until we feel it's safe to go outside. Because it's a daunting experience when you first start meditating, or when you've got a big question that you want answering. You want to make sure that everything is as it should be for you. So we open that door and we peer outside. It's safe because we've got another safe space outside, a perimeter if you like. If you're into your sci-fis and you know how Star Trek's holodecks work, when you're viewing it from inside the holodeck, you just see a doorway and you walk through it. And that is similar to what we're doing. We're opening that door and walking into that other world, the one that we're picturing. But we're in that corridor. We can quickly step back into the room in our safe space. Or we can venture forward. Now we're in that halfway place. Partly in the safe, partly connected with the outside world. Whether that's a corridor or a bit of a garden with a fence around it. When we want to venture further into the actual outside, we'll open that next door or open that gate and take that tentative step forward. We can always come back again. We can see around us. We can see that it's safe. And we step forward into that field, onto that path, onto that road. If you've seen the films about Narnia, it's very much like walking through the cupboard. And if we want to come back, we just look back and we can walk through that doorway. But as we move forward, go through the fields, and I like to see the woods because we can get lots of answers in the woods. And as part of that meditation, that imagination that we allow ourselves to use, we can picture these different things within the bark, within the patterns on the floor, in the grass. Maybe a certain pattern on an animal just inspires us. Allow yourself to be inspired, because that's what's been sent through from ourselves, through the spirits, through the gods. Listen, watch, but don't push for answers. Just walk. The answers will come to you. At any point that we feel that apprehension, that we just can't face those things, those demons, those fears that we've put in front of ourselves that we're trying to get answers for. If ever we feel that um, unassuredness, you can just turn around and the doorway is there, or you walk round a tree and see that doorway and walk through, and you're back in your safe space. And because we've done that, we can shut that door behind us or leave it open so we can have a look outside again. But what we also do is we experience that journey. We experience the feels that are there while we're there, and we also experience the journey back. That sudden arrival back at your safe space should only be used if there is that apprehension. If everything seems fine, you turn around when you've finished and you start walking back, but experience the whole thing. The walk through that last part of the forest where you've actually got the light in front of you now instead of the darkness as you walk further in. And then you experience the woods or as they're thinning out into the fields, and in the distance you can see where you started from. And then we return back to that safe space, closing the gate behind us, closing that door. So we've still got that time. Do we need to go back out? Can we come back in? When you're ready to make sure that you're in, walk in. Lay down back on your bed after you've closed the door, of course. Or sit on that chair. And imagine yourself closing your eyes again and focusing on your heartbeat and on your breathing, which brings you back into this real world. Those thoughts that you've had while you've been out in the woods, while you've done that meditation, they may have been put there by the gods or the spirits. They may be in your subconscious already, and the gods have just pushed those forward. That's if you believe in the gods. But whatever it is you've experienced, be inspired by it so you can move forward with the answers you've received. Inspire others to carry out this kind of meditation. And as always, be inspired. Inspire. Most of all, breathe. Blessed be.